On May 18th, 2011, at 8:30 in the morning, my phone rang. I answered it and said, "Hello, this is Kevin Skellett." The person on the other end identified themselves as a local police detective. He said, "Hello, Mr. Skellett. I need to meet with you this morning." "What's it in reference to?" I asked. "We can talk about it when I arrived," he said. "Did I do something wrong?" I asked. Finally, he said, "It's in reference to your son, Mark. I'll be there shortly," and he hung up. My first thought was, well, what has Mark done now? Mark had just turned 21, and he's my son who needs that little extra grace. So I called his phone to find out what was going on, but it went directly to his message. So I sat down and thought about the situation. Why did the police call? If Mark was hurt or in an accident, they would have told me where he was or what hospital he was going to. If Mark was arrested, Mark would be calling and not the police. The only other option I could think of, I didn't really like. That's when I reached out for help. I put my hands together, I bowed my head, and I prayed, "Father, my son is dead." God immediately answered in my head and said, "My son died too. I know exactly how you feel." And then after a pause, he said, "By the way, he's not your son." That confused me, and as I was trying to wrap my head around it, he continued, "He's my son. I gave him to you." The only thing I could think to answer was, "Thank you, Father, for the time that you gave me with Mark." When the police arrived, they confirmed my fears and told me that Mark had taken his life. From that very first moment, God has been with me on my grief journey. From speaking at Mark's memorial service, to becoming a police chaplain, to becoming an advocate for suicide prevention, and to starting a ministry for parents who have lost a child. I'm thankful God has taken my loss and opened the door for me to help others who are hurting as well. Thank you, Father, for the time you gave me with Mark.